Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, streaming live from the guttural bliss of Portland, I'm Jude Spencer, here to tighten the curlies and release the crawlers and bring a little pucker and tingle to the spiral zone and invade the entrails of your mind. Tonight, on location at the residence of a local author, award-winning writer Ozzy Wellman. His new book, Murder Speaks, will be launched at midnight, available everywhere the sun shines. Welcome, Ozzy. Friends call me Mandy, but Ozzy is okay. And Mandy derives from Ozymandias, is my given name, from the poet Shelley. Inferring greatness, grandeur, colossus, my parents put great expectations on me from an early age. But over time, my mother, at great consternation to my father, started calling me Mandy. Oh, great, then I'll call you Ozzy, at the risk of consternating your mom. Mother is no longer with us. She passed about a year ago, but Rodrigo is still among us. Rodrigo? This is my father. He resides at Cedar Hills here in Portland. With the book tours and all, I could no longer be here for him. He needs daily treatment. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, let's talk about this intricate brain scrub you've entitled Murder Speaks. The opening line is puzzling. Death, though it hath no tongue, shall speak. What is the prose indicating, and why open the book with a Shakespearean-like metaphor? I'm surprised you would choose to single out this line, given the audience and nature of your format. Most of my topics deal with the underbelly of society. Yours deal with aliens and Bigfoot and the like. This is simple math. Murder is an equation, and the sum of the evidence points to the solution. All murders have one thing in common. A human being is involved in its creation. You make it sound like art. It's like Michelangelo. Some murders take years to craft, with attention to every detail. Like the Sistine Chapel. On the other hand, Jackson Pollock looks like a pure, unplanned rage splatter at the canvas. Though they are different, they share a thread of commonality. Both require action, and the way we act is the blueprint to solving any murder. An interesting theory, and one we can put to the test if you're willing. I'm always willing and open for a challenge, but I prefer to call it measuring rather than testing. Measuring requires math. Testing can be random depending on the administrator. Okay, well, let's measure the recent murder of a local woman that occurred yesterday evening. The police are calling it a curious one because there are no signs of forced entry. Let me stop you there. No signs of forced entry only means it was someone she knew or trusted to open the door, a pizza delivery person, or a late PS arrival. There is no mystery to it, but let's suppose it was an acquaintance or friend. Now hundreds of suspects have entered into the equation. So if it were you investigating, how would you proceed? Were it me? So you want me to help the police? Let them do their homework. I will say this. It is 95% likely that the killer is someone that at the bare minimum was part of her life in some small way. Examples would include family, friends, places she shops, clubs she frequents, people that see her doing everyday routines, collecting mail, taking walks, getting coffee. Killers are like ordinary people. They covet what they see. So you just narrowed it down to a few thousand people. But can you give the audience one angle that you would look at were you trying to solve the case? Routines are the way a person behaves within the pattern. Example, every night you sleep on your side, every morning you brush your teeth. These occur no matter what is going on around you or where you are. Patterns are formed by our state of mind, like what restaurant we go to is determined by what we feel like eating that day. You may try another place, but ultimately you will go back to the favorite place because of how it makes you feel. Food brings comfort, and that is a state of mind. Well, that's interesting. Switchboard's lighting up, and I'm going to take a short break and come back with your calls for Ozzie Wellman. Wow, that was interesting. How do you feel about taking some calls? I assume the majority will be about this murder case. I'm here to promote my book. I don't want to get sidetracked helping the police do their job. What about 50-50? If we really boost the show, it'll sell a lot of books. 70-30, if it gets out of hand, I'm going to walk. Great. I will let them know you've agreed to take at least 5 calls on the case, and will alternate between the two. Nothing sells like murder. What do you know about the case? I have a couple of friends on the force that run things by me. I know they have nothing substantial. They are checking the usual leads. I think they are questioning a pizza guy that was there that evening and an old boyfriend, but nothing really. They won't let me see the crime book, but from what I can glean, she was taking a shower and was stabbed several times. There was a lot of blood, some post-mortem sexual evidence. Beyond that, I don't know. Did you see photos? Of course not. A woman with her breast cut is not something I want to see. Dude, that's sick. Okay, we're back in 60 seconds. How do you want to talk about these things, and how often do you talk to the cops? About twice a month. Sometimes I use information to fill a chapter I am working on. Change the names and methods. As you probably know, truth is stranger than fiction every time. Yeah, I get it. There was this case last year that I included in the book, but you would never know because enough details are changed to make it my own. It's not something I rely on as a writer, but in a pinch, I can fill space with it if I'm tapped out. Which case, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, but I do mind. I can't give away trade secrets. We are back in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. We're live with Ozzie Wellman, author of Murder Speaks, dropping tonight at midnight wherever books are sold. We asked Mr. Wellman during the break if he had ever helped local law enforcement with open cases, to which he modestly replied, he has a couple of contacts and he will bounce things off them from time to time. So let's take our first caller. Hello, you're on the air.